Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today the pen testing going to be very interesting because we have a very interesting target and the scope is really wide. According to me, we would learn a lot from this particular thing. And why I take the live bug bounty things into consideration, because you don't really learn by just understanding the concepts that yeah, that this is a bug and you go ahead and find that. No, that's not the way to do things. Over here we just found two IPs, and the first IP is of Sekipo Dev, and let's see, it's redirecting to sso to Dev. Now the first thing I need to check is whether there is a WAF on this particular target by default or not. If there is no WAF, then the severity is nothing, to be honest. Let's see what are the WAF detection results for this particular thing. There is no generic WAF detected, so let's leave it for now. The other thing is GitLab Bally prof.dev. It might be of use to us. All right, over here there's a register functionality. Okay, in GitLab thing there is a register functionality. That's strange. Let me check gitlab.ballyprof.dev. One second. gitlab.ballyprof.dev. Okay, let's begin our hunting from this particular domain itself. The first thing that comes up to my mind is running nuclei on this particular thing to find if something is hidden or not. Nuclei minus u for the URL, minus t for the templates, and minus es info, and the concurrency rate I need to have 5000, and it might update the nuclei templates first, then it would start running. And let's see what we have over here by the time nuclei is running. Okay, so by default it doesn't give a endpoint. It says 404 not found. So the first thing we should do over here is directory busting. Hopefully we might find something of our use over here. So we would move to intruder right here, payloads common.txt, setting the threads, and click on start. I'm looking for 200 status codes over here, if it might find any. And there could be another thing that they might be filtering the eye traffic, because there are no results fetched from this as well. I'm just assuming. No, I didn't fetched any results. So let me use this particular URL to see what we can possibly find over here. Alright, so we have a register functionality in here, and if we see the bounty scope, the rate limits are not excluded, so there might be a possibility that rate limits are in scope. So okay, didn't found it anything from this particular thing. So let's click on register now. Instead of the first name, I would prefer filling HTML email injection payload over here. The last name, the username. In the username I would enter this again. Okay, it says with only alphanumeric characters. It doesn't allow this as well. Okay, Arman underscore Sidana. It should not allow that as well. Okay, it's available. Then my mail, then the password, Says minimum length should be 8. Okay. I entered 8 characters password. It has authenticity token. First name, last name, username, reCAPTCHA response. It says 200. Okay. It provides a C data to me. Let's see what it says. It shows that there was an error with the reCAPTCHA, but it's not working by default. There is nothing at our end. Let me delete this particular thing from here. No, it's not working. I guess this is done. Bullyprof.def to restrict the users from directly accessing the IP. Because on this thing, I guess the captcha would work fine. Sometimes companies do this thing, right? See over here, I was right on this. When I type the username, how it checks that the username is available? See, it says it request like this exists false. If I write over error man, it says exists false. I write test, it says exists false. So I can use this as a particular injection endpoint. I can try that. It gets redirected. One second. No, it's not something that I wanted to see. Let's leave this. Then the mail, the password, the reCAPTCHA, register, response to this request. It should not drop any. Password must not contain commonly used combination of words and letters. Okay. I entered a new password. Okay, it says redirecting to this particular thing. You have successfully signed up. However, you could not sign in because your account is waiting from your approval from your GitLab administrator. Okay, we can create an account, but it's pending for approval from the GitLab administrator. So it makes no sense for us, I guess, if it's pending for approval. Let me test this functionality. I guess if I would try to log in, it would again say that it's pending for approval. It would say it's pending for approval. Right. So we can't search much on this particular thing. Next thing we should do is go to search census.io if it provides a different uh, direction to our research. If the showdown shows a limited data, it would have limited data too. Over here, if you open this IP, it's this IP is for sikipoballyprof.dev, and what it's running. Okay, if I take this IP, put it to nmap, one second. So it would find out things for me. Furthermore, I can check another things. Firstly, you need to see whether it belongs to that particular target or not. Forward DNS is GitLab. It belongs to the target as well. We can see the similar functionality on 443 port, but there is a NGINX server running. So all these things lead to a great results. So you should put all the links for the nmap scans so that you find some things. This is my approach. You can take another approach. Because on non-random ports now we tend to find a lot of sensitive information about a target. Only thing you need to see is that whether it belongs to that target or not. If it belongs, so like in this case it's only running a port 22 SSH, right? So we don't have the credentials, so it's of not much usage to us. This target is running a web server, but on 443 it's not giving any response back, right? So it's not of use to us. And maybe I guess they are running firewalls on this particular thing. Furthermore, it's running something. It belongs to, yep, but over here there is a catch. It has Fortinet 40 OS running on this thing. I don't know what's running. Let me see. 8020, 8020. Then yeah, see, it's running this. Then on 8008, what it's running. Mm, it's not running Fortinet. So you need to filter out these things, that what exactly it's running, what might be of use to us. Like over here, this particular thing is running a transcode server, so it would be really good for you to do the analysis on. But first verify that it belongs to a target or not. Yes, if yes, then move ahead with your analysis. That's the say of it. If it's yes, for sure, then move ahead with your analysis. I know it's a lengthy process. You would say go jump directly to hacking. No, but most of the critical bugs are found out using this method. You need not to rush. There is no need to rush. For this, it's running Amazon Elastic load balancing, but on but the common name doesn't resemble with our target, so it's not of our target. So you should check the C name also. Service unreachable dot dev. No, 404 not found. The C name doesn't match. Then if we move forward, the C name here is not matching. So all these things are very critical to understand and see. It's also not matching the C name. Nope. All right. So we have these domains which we have done the analysis on. It's still running the script scans. By the time we can see to this, onto this particular IP, there is port 80, there is port 443, and there is lot of things which are not allowed, and you can clearly see that, yeah, it's running all these things. And in the robots.txt file, there is lots of disallowed directories. So if I take this IP and perform the analysis on it, so you would get a more better understanding that what exactly I'm trying to say. We take this thing and we open port 80, right? If we write 4443, okay, it doesn't open anything. But if I write over a admin, one second, https, if I see over here na the robots.txt file, so it has a lot of disallowed directories. The user profile directory, the admin directory. If I put over here, let's say I take this IP and I write over here https admin. So it says you need to sign in before continuing. So these directories might be blocked. Profile. So all these are disallowed directories. Projects new. The git directories is disallowed. Everything is disallowed. But for that we need to get the admin permission. Furthermore, if we see there is a port running with this IP, that is 555050. So let me run https. There's nothing running. The site has no title. Then there is 8080 running. 8080, but it doesn't has a record. So analysis finished on this particular thing. If we move back to this thing, this IP, the SSH is not important, but we have a web server on port 80, which is for the SSO baliprof.dev. So if this is running a web server, so let me scan with nuclei for any potential bugs on this. And then there is port 443, it would be same. Then there is access builder on 888. So if you need to check there's a CV for access builder or not, access builder CV. So there's no CV for access builder. Then there is a port running over here which is on 8008. Let me see this. 8008. Would probably it would be a 40net sort of stuff. It's that only. And ahead there is nothing. Next thing up, if we see over here, there this IP we have, and let's see what it's running. It has transcode CCTV's server. Let if it has a CV or not. Let me see. So multiple CCTV DVR vendors. So they have a CV for it. Let me confirm. But it's still running. So here's the vendor list. Transcode is not in this list. Yeah, transcode is not in this list. So there was remote code execution on this particular thing. Hmm. What is after that? 8008810. So nothing in that over here. We have Laravel debug page. We found out ignition health check. So it says can execute command true. So if I research about it more, Laravel debug enabled. So what's this bug all about? So it says full account takeover using Laravel debug mode. There's not proper explanation of how exactly this thing works, so we need to research about it a bit, that how exactly this Laravel thing works. One second, let me open over here. Okay, this is a private. Let me see my Google Authenticator, please. My Google Authenticator says enter. You can't open this report because this isn't public. This report is about Laravel 2. In database credentials disclosure via enabled Laravel debug page. But there is no information about this particular thing. We need to see this thing if we might find something. Disable the debug mode by settings app debug to false, but we can see that the app debug is to true over there. So that might have something for us to see for sure. I'm not able to find a particular resource to escalate things. If I have found something, so I would try to see what exactly how we can see this. I'm not able to exactly find that report, which might have helped me. It says PHP debug bar, and they can see a lot of things over here. But no one has explained exactly how to escalate this thing. Let's keep hunting. One second. What is this endpoint called? Profiles. It says check this particular thing. It shows a 404 error. But it's not something similar to our case. Now, this is something that we are doing for sure. Let me exploit this. This I am getting it. I am understanding that what exactly it's trying to do. One thing I need to see is that what version of Laravel they are using, so that my research becomes easy. Over here it doesn't say it's using a Laravel, but it's using for sure, because otherwise the endpoint might not be visible. Ignition execute solution. One second. Now this is different. Why it's different? The same thing we executed from here. No, it's health check, na? It's health check. No, that's bad because we are doing the same thing on this endpoint. It's not allowing. On the different endpoint, it's allowing. See, health check, health check, it's the same thing. Let me do like this. So IP address doesn't block many things. Can execute commands true. If I write here execute solution. Okay. This is the exact thing we were trying to find. Perfect, perfect. We got it, and it's exploitable for sure. So what exactly we need to do in this case is capture this request, send it to repeater, make it a post request, change request method, and add this particular thing. Then we need to download this php to the same folder as exploit.py, modify exploit.py, and replace the actual path with laravel.log. Okay, got it. We need to understand one thing, that how exactly this Python file working. I want to download a back door into the server, to be very honest. Okay, we can clear the log file. We can do that easily, but one thing I am trying to find over here is, let me check this. It's tricky, it's really, really tricky. Let me copy this in here for now. So what file I need to view is this things. View file far src. No, 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 no. It's not something I wanted to see. I have the exact thing over here. ignition execution solution, exploiting Laravel, RCE. Let me find an auto exploit to that thing. What is this particular version? I can do one thing over here. I can see if there's a metasploit module for that. Meta MSF console. That would make things easy for us. Search Laravel. Over here it says ignition Laravel debug, and this is the same thing we want to do. Okay, so I would write clear show options. The target URI is always obvious this. Then set our port, our host to this IP address which we are seeing. Our port is 80, I guess. It's 80. Set L host. Now this is one thing that when we are on VirtualBox we can't get reversals. I need to see that how exactly I can get a reversal on my own PC, because this IP the people might not get from outside na. It's pinging, but can I ping it from outside? I don't know. But okay, let's see it afterwards. Exploit. It says it's a not non-vulnerable target, but what I'm seeing over there, it's not this right case, because I can see the same thing I can use over there. I can see that. I'm in the var HTML directory. What more I can demand from that? Let me research about it. I can't. Ignition execute solution. One second. So things like these takes a lot of time. I can report it directly to the company. To be very honest, I can report it directly to the company. like this only, but I don't want to do that. So it shows the same thing, that first clear the log file, then do any other thing. I'm finding a simple thing which I can follow and exploit this thing. Now, if it's in the template of project discovery, it might mean something for sure. Now, this is the particular cv.yml file. What if I download the cv file and run it? Simple as that. It would do all its stuff on its own. cd desktop, git clone. It says not found. Why not found? Exploit. Let me run this. If it would be vulnerable, then it would work for sure. So it has given us the commands that what exactly, like, let's hope that it might work. For now everything is in a positive direction, but we can't be happy so early because we don't know that things could take a turn from anywhere. Apt install. Okay, let me install this first. Okay, sudo apt install. And yeah, one short tip from me, guys: always use sudo wherever it's required. ऐसे नहीं कि जहाँ मन किया you should use sudo. That's not a recommended practice. Creates a lot of dependency issues. So you should avoid using all these things. Always use wherever it's required. Next thing is pip3 install requirements. Okay, we are ready to launch. Now I just need to launch it, I guess. Enter host. So host is over here. See, it says host is using a patched version of Laravel. Host seems vulnerable, and I don't know that whether it would learn or not. execute id. Yes, it says solutions can only be. Okay, one thing I feel like, firstly I should clear the log files if it allows. Clear logs. It says solution can only be executed from local IP address. And this IP also says that I would try for one last time and then we would move forward. Because it says that it's using a patched version of this thing, and everywhere they are using a localhost thing. That's not getting straight up my head, to be very honest. Because the issue we are facing is somewhat similar to this scenario. That's why I'm a bit confused on things. Because if we they're using localhost and they're using the exploits for localhost. That's why I'm getting a doubt that, yeah, what exactly I'm doing wrong. Now they have this particular exploit to see if it's really exploitable or not. This is the best we can do. I can't, and I don't even know more than this, to be very honest. And we should not waste time on like specifically one thing. But yeah, that's the way I can teach you. It didn't give an error. It didn't give an error. Percentage 00. It's not working as I want it to work. Let me try this particular thing. That whether it works or not. I take this request to repeater, and in this particular host I would be entering this particular thing. It says forbidden. That's what I wanted to see. So for now we can only report as it's enabled. So we should report it first and then you would move to another things. Let me fill this thing, guys. Then we move forward. Bug case Laravel debug enabled. Select scope. Now for scope, I doesn't know much that it was which thing. I guess it was SSO, if I'm not wrong. Let me recheck. It was SSO service. Right, right, right. I got it right. The path obvious over here. Select risk status. It's medium. Impact. So for impact now, what you should always do is right over here Laravel debug enabled. So from here you can get the impact and things. Remediation. Now it is asking for a description. So you can download the description from some other websites. So you should use it in here, and this you should use it in here, so that would be more appropriate. And let's take a picture of that particular bug that, yeah, it's showing like that. So they might mark it as informative, but it would be true if it would be true. So we might have escalated it to RC for sure. 31. We uploaded it. Submit bug case. Report successful. Good. And let's move to Hunter. How? It is another search engine. It's good as well. Let's see what we can find over here. One thing I need to see if it generates automatic. This is what I wanted to see. Hmm. So I would keep it this for this particular part, and see you in the next part. Thank you.